So I was talking about like we will start today with the Power BI visualizations. So here we are starting with the visualization part as well as we will do the modeling part in the later part of this video. So this is the data table view that you can see from here. That is this table we have available with us. So suppose if I want to create a summary here, like that department based summary I can create. Okay, we can do the summary based on the designation wise as well. Also we can do the summary, yeah, city wise, and yeah, date of joinings too. We can do the right, we can create, I mean you can now visualize it, that 3 to 4 charts you can create. Okay, and along with that, here we have some good options, that is we can add data that we call data cards as well as for representing our data set here. Now first of all, that if you know, in the previous session we created this chart. Okay, let's do one thing, let's make it again. So you have these so many visuals are options are available. So whenever you want to drag or whenever you wanted to make any visual, what suppose here you have all these visual options. All these options that you can see here, these are regarding what, the either it is bar chart or the column chart that you can see. These are the column chart options. You have the option of the stacked column chart. This is the stacked bar chart. This is the clustered bar chart, clustered column chart. Then you have 100% stacked bar chart, and then you have 100% column chart as well. There you get all the line chart options and the area chart options. Okay, you know why you are making the line chart or the area chart. That is when you want to show anything based on, I mean on the timeline that you want to show. For that you will be using exploring these charts. Okay, also you have some combo chart option, like two charts you can make together. Okay, then you have waterfall, funnel chart, scatter plot, you have pie, you have donut chart also available, you have over here tree map chart available, then you have a map chart is also there. I mean on the map also you can plot, right? So there are so many options. So let's do one thing, let's create one chart here. So the first of all we'll select this chart. As we have selected it, now what we can do is, then suppose here department or designation wise, suppose designation wise I'm dragging it to here. Okay, so designation have been dragged here. Now as such you can't see anything here because we have to create the clustered column chart. Okay, and if you go for the table, it will show you all the departments that you can see here. Can you see all the designations? Here you will be able to see the designations. Now we are looking for what, we wanted in the y-axis, I want to plot that is salaries. Okay, so now here you will get, these are the salaries, that is for each department, I mean designation, salaries we are spending or the company is spending. Okay, one more thing you will get here, that is called legend. Okay, legend, anyone remembers what is legend? Okay, anyone else, anyone is there who can help me with the legend part? Okay, no problem, let me just do one thing. Let me just drag the department to the legend and you guys can tell me the change which is happening in the chart. Yeah, so here you can see that for every designation, okay, for that particular designation 4 columns have come here, and that is showing 4 departments, right? That is for respectively for all, and here the legends will come here, that is what the colors actually means. Yeah, this is your clustered column chart, but and if you know that we can also go by the stacked column chart. In the stacked column chart, anyone can tell me like how will your chart will look like in the stacked column? I mean all the departments, they will stack. Yeah, and then you will have a one single column for this particular designation, and that column will be divided with the departments that you have. So you can select, now you can see this is a, so this is a better representation, I mean better, okay, presentation of, sorry. Okay, for that you can compare like which one is better. Is this is better for comparing the values, or this one is better? Yeah, this one is better, correct? Yes, yes. So here you can see now that is what we are going with the visualization part. This is one chart that we have created. Okay, and on this one chart now we will go on to the formatting part of your visual, because here you can see the colors and all these things are good, that is fair enough, and as well as if hovering over to it, it is just showing you what is that value. Okay, that is good, but we are not able to see these values properly. That is some of the salaries that you can see, even the designations. Let's go to format your visual. It is a very important part here. One by one I will explain all these things to you. Okay, they are very important. Like here, a few things have been turned on. If you just turn off the legend, see what will happen. Turn it on, right? Turn it off. Can you see the difference? Just observe the difference, right? In the x-axis, so in the x-axis, what do you have? You have all these values as the designations. Now, if you just turn it off, the values will go, correct? Come on, guys. I want you guys to respond, please, right? Because so that it will be interesting. This is formatting your visual is a very, very interesting part. So here you can change the font as well as, and you can increase the size. Also, you can make it bold so that it is readable. If you want to change their colors from here, you can change the colors as well. They are readable again. Formatting. You wanted to turn off the title, you will see the title will be turned off. The designation has gone off from here. Turn it on, it will get turn it on. In the title, if you go there, you can again see if you wanted to make it bold or you wanted to make it black color, that you can see it from here. Perfect. Remove the title as well, because it if you want, it's like you can show the title at the top here. Okay, this is the designation wise the salaries distribution that you are doing for every department. If you want, you can just turn it off as well, so that there is a larger area for your visualization part. Okay, that much is clear. Then you have something called layout. Okay, so as such, if you increase or decrease it, we don't have to worry about this as for time being. Then you have y-axis. I mean, that is whatever you have, everything here is you have on the y-axis. You have the sum of the salaries value that you can see. Minimum, maximum, it has been automatically taken care of, that it is starting with 0 million and ending on 7 million. In the values you go, here again you can just make it bold, your values. You can change the colors as well. Okay. Display unit is automatic. So, but if you want the values to be displayed in 1000, you can choose that as well. You want the decimal places, you can also choose those decimal places. So we do not want that as such, because it's better that we keep it auto, because we want this space also to be not that larger, right? We don't that to occupy the large space here. Title thing we can remove in y-axis. Okay, because it is understood that this is some of the salaries only, because when we'll put the title here, that will be more clear. Fine, that is clear, everyone. Then you have here the option of grid lines. So right now we have already grid lines placed on the back side, which is these lines, small dotted lines. If you see, you turn it off, that they will go. If you wanted to change the lines and all that, you can control it from here. You want the solid line, you want the dotted line, what is their width and all that, you can control it from here. Okay, right? So we are done with the grid lines. Okay, inside this, then we have options here for columns. Okay, so as a zoom slider is not required, because the data is not that here, the chart is not that big. So if you just turn it on, it will put a slider here. Okay, if you just, yeah. So in the columns, you can see the columns are representing what? These are the columns that you can see here. For columns, it is given the colors. Here we have the legends actually. If you observe, we have 4 departments available. If you want to change the color of your columns as well, you can change that from here, right? But here we need most important, that is our data labels, because we want our data labels to be visible. Now you can see the values for every. Okay, it is here. Yeah, okay, and in the values, if you will go here, you can see it is showing you the sum of the salaries. Values are in, and that is the size of it. If you want to make it, I mean, you can increase it. Okay, you can also make the values bold. Okay, you can change it. Okay, all these things you can control from here. It is automatically giving you the automatic display, and it is automatic. So values are fine because they are in the millions, and they are also taking care of the decimal places also, so we don't have to do anything with that, right? Background thing that is here, we are right now working in the data labels. So in the data labels only, you have something called as background. If you put a background, your values will come with a background if you observe it, right? If you remove it, see, can you see that sometimes what happen that it depends upon the color of the visual that you're making and what is the front color of the font. So sometimes it's become difficult. Suppose if here, if I change the color from white to red, the text color, then I have to add a background to my text as well. Otherwise, for here I will not be able to read it here. Suppose if you change it, right, if you change the value from this color, you are changing it to red color, somewhere you will see that you are not able to read it, right? So in that case you can add a background. Okay, so that you can utilize for adding a background. So all these things you can, if you wanted to add a details of it, so you can add details as well. Here you can represent it like what if it is showing you, like you, if you turn it on, you can add like these, whatever these values are coming, are these value displaying for which particular department or designation. So although we don't want those things to be clumsy here, so let's make it neat and clean. So you can see, you can explore these options here, the font options that you have. Okay, plot, in the end, you, one second, let me just, just press it, and then you have the option here. So you understood these things like data labels and all these things, right? These things are clear. Then you have some journal options also available to you here. You go to the journal option, there you have the option to add a title. Can you see that? Now in this title you can add your title, right? You can, like what are you trying to show here, that you can, so this is department wise, okay, salaries, and this is department salary along with what, no, it's actually not department, it is what, designation. Comparing with department, so that is what we are showing here. You can also choose the heading, like normal heading you wanted to give it, or heading 2 or heading 3, like that. You can see, increase the size of it, you can make it bold, okay, or you don't want it to make it bold. The text color is it, if you wanted to add a background color it, you can definitely add a background color to this. Suppose if you're making this color, okay, or some different color, you can choose your light one, this one, you can choose on the orientation of it, like it is in the middle now. Yeah, it's in the central part, and that's what we can see. Yes, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, please continue.
In the last 10 minutes, it showed to me that you don't have internet and I cannot hear you. I can't see anything from the end.
Okay, no problem with that, Eddie. Okay, this is the recorded session, so don't worry, you can, because here we have to complete few things. Okay, just focus now, right, after this part.
Okay.
Yes, because all these things are like, they have to be explained one by one, and you have to understand that things. So don't worry, just go through this session once. Okay, you will be able to understand it. If you find any problem, don't worry, you can come again. Okay. Yeah, or in the later part of this lecture I will take care of it, because the recording is as well as going side by side. Okay, so in the effects you have the options of background of the chart. So from here you can add a background to it, like suppose this, okay, or any color that you it looks good here. Suppose if you say the lighter color will be good on the back side, or from the more colors you can choose other colors as well, like these colors. Okay, yeah, lighter one be good, because it, see, depends upon uh, how good you are at with color contrast things and all combinations. So here you know that this is one visualization we have created. Now just go with, just now if I decrease the size of this, you'll see, you'll be able to understand it or not. Tell me, are you able to understand these or not? Yes, even I go with this particular size, it is easily understood. You can easily understand it, right? Not that much, you will not find any difficulty here reading it. So this is one visualization we have created, as well as we have also properly formatted it. Okay, the same thing we can also do for other visualizations also. So here in this one sheet only, you can see that we can place at 4 to 5 charts at least we can place, and then that will be a small mini dashboard. Okay, this is one part here, that is creating a visualization here, and that is how to do the formatting part as well. Now I will explain you this part which is called model. Okay, model view or building a model. Right, as we are already working on this table, which includes that you have employee ID, you have full name, department, designation, salary, and these tables you have, and this single table you are working on. But what if, uh, because most of the time when you are working on the projects, or when the data set is given to you from the client side, or from it is given to you by the manager, there include multiple tables, not the single table. Or it can be like you have one single large table, and from that single large table you have to create the multiple tables. That can be one scenario. Or it can be like multiple tables are given, then you have to, from those multiple tables, you have to build connections between those multiple tables, so that they are interrelated to each other. Okay, so here when you are dealing with the larger data set, then there comes the importance here, that all of the data you cannot place it in one table only. Suppose you have multiple columns like 30, 35, 40 columns, more than that. So it's always better and it's always recommended that you keep your data separate for every table. Suppose you have here the employee ID data. Okay, so employee ID related to employee details, you want it to be separate. If it is a city related data, you want that to be even separate. If it is date of joining, completely new date of joining, I mean new table you want, where date related things are there, right? Same thing, personal details you can keep it separately. Okay, so that all these information, see here what can happen, this is we are dealing with the employee table only. But what happens, suppose if I have the orders data, okay, or if you have an e-commerce data is there, and you're a customer on the e-commerce platform. So as a customer, it will not be the case that you will only go once in a year then purchase it. It can be the scenario that you're going every week there, or onto the application, or every day you're purchasing from the application. That can be a scenario. So if I keep that data everything in a single table itself, then it will be the repetition of the same things again and again and again, same information, kind of information again and again in my table. If customer is unique, if customer is coming again, so I can keep the customer personal data separately and order data separately. We know that in the SQL we have worked on the primary keys and foreign keys relationship. So later on we can connect both the tables with that relationship, and we can fetch the details from both the tables, right? Order ID is there, we can place the order ID individually, but customer details keep it in the separate table. That is called the normalization process. Okay, so here also we will be following that normalization process too, right? So this table that we have, so what I'll do is I will convert this table into multiple smaller tables, and then I will link them, I will make a modeling things, okay, create a relationship between them. And yeah, so let's this get opened here. Okay, so here I have opened the query editor, everyone knows this. right? Everyone knows it. This is query editor we have. Okay, now on this query editor, now first of all decide what all values you want. Suppose here you can say employee ID, full name, and then you have the employee details respectively. Okay, where you have the employee ID and the full name, and then you have something called salary. So there is one more part here which is called uh, the fact and dimension tables. When we are creating such multiple tables, so there is two type of information to be stored. Okay, dimension table and the fact table. Fact table is something which is containing the factual data or the factual figures, right? Is that can be your salaries, orders, details, sales. Okay, and dimension table is something which is storing the value. Okay, or where you can say that it is describing. Suppose if it is a department, right, employee ID 101 and the name is full name, so that can be in the your dimension table with that particular employee ID. Name is what? Elisu. That full name I need not include it in my uh, in this what we call it as fact table. Yeah, fact table. I can store the name in my different table as a dimension table, which is actually giving the understanding. For that, let me just explain you the fact and all. Just give me a second. Okay, just focus here. Okay, everyone. So I can say fact, and you have dimension tables. Okay, in Power BI. So I will. So fact table is going to what? It's going to store all the quantitative and measurable things. So let me just open any one I mean when. So you can see here that the center part is what? Fact table. Everyone to see it. And then rest of these are what? Dimensional tables that you have. You can see it here. Okay, and one second, let me open it. Okay, so okay, suppose here now you see this is something regarding here. It is taking care of all the date related stuffs. Okay, it's taking the login, wants to get the login credentials. Don't worry, let me just open this one for you. Just observe this thing. Okay, this one is better. So here you can see that we have the sales. Okay, and in the sales you will see sales month key, store key, product key, and sales value and quantity. You can see here. Then here you have the all details regarding to the month and product regarding what is the product key, product ID, product type. Okay, name, category, subcategory, size. I mean details regarding product are here, details regarding month, details regarding stores are here in the dimension tables, and the fact table keeping track of all the quantities or the measures or the values that you can measure. So we will be creating a data model or the schema. So this schema which is here, this is called what? Star schema. So you have multiple schemas in your Power BI when you are creating your models. Okay, so star schema is where your fact table is in the center, and the rest of the tables you have are connected to the center table, that is called your fact table. So fact is going to take care of what? All the numeric things that you have, and the dimension table is going to take care of all the descriptives or the textual data that you have, such as names, dates, or the categories. Okay, that is all. If you see the schemas, this is one kind of a schema that you have. There are other schemas like snowflake schema is also there, and you have the star schema. Snowflake schema is when you have, suppose this is one fact table is here, then you have a dimension table. This is the second table that you can see, and this table is also connected to some other table. Okay, so if you go for the uh, schemas in Power BI. So okay, one second, images. So these are what? Star schemas that you can see, all of these. Yeah, right, all of these are star schemas. That is, these are different models that you can make here. Okay, and if you go here, then you have, this is a star schema. That means the preferred method for the Power BI, as it is easier for users to okay. Then you have an snowflake schema as well. Suppose if fact table is connected to the dimension table, and that dimension table also has a relation with some other table. Okay, in continuation, that you can say snowflake schema is it. Like here it is given some example, like this is this. Yeah, here you can say, here you have a fact table, and then you have a dimension table, then a dimension table, and then you have another dimension table related to that. That is what snowflake schema. Okay, so realistic example is also given to you here. You can see here. Okay, just tell me which one is the fact table here. This particular one. Which one is the fact table? Observe it properly. You can see the sales thing. You have the product ID, you have the order ID, your customer ID, you have employee total, your quantity, and discount. Yeah, all these are your numerical values, right? So product ID will be linked to what product table? So inside the product ID, there will be a product name as well as, and there will be some subcategory as well as. Okay, the subcategory, suppose this is a product category ID, that is also linked to a product ID here. What is the name of that, and what is the unit price of that particular category? Okay, so here you have the product part is complete. Now then you have something called as customer ID. So let's go to the customer ID. Okay, what is the customer name? What is the address? Inside the address you have the city ID. For city we can make a different table altogether which will store all the cities. Here, yeah, it is linked to the city where you have a city ID, where you have a city name, you have a zip code and the country. Okay, it is all the details are regarding the city here. Then same thing can be done with the time as well. As here you have order ID. Okay, that is order ID. What is the order date, year, quarter and month? Okay, that all the details regarding the order is here. Customer details are here, city details are here, order details are here. Then you have the employee dimension. Okay, inside this again you have the, I mean, employee, what is the employee name, department ID, region and territory if it is an employee. Suppose here yes, yes, so that can be in the department dimension and then ID, name, location. So it can be like, see, this whatever this table that we have, or this complete structure, there are two possibility, two things. Then one side you have the customers, another side there are employees. Okay, so employees will also may be purchasing from their own company, right? That can be the scene. So for them, they have the employee D, I mean employee ID, it is name, department ID, yeah, region and territory. Here it is taking care of department ID, name, and the location. Again, what we can do is the location is here. We can also include a city ID as well as. Then that table can be linked to this table also. Okay, because yeah, because city ID will be, it will be a one table only. So yeah, this is called snowflake schema, where it is not a star schema. Star schema will have fact table at the center and the rest of the dimension tables that will be connected to it. That will be what you will have. So here in the snowflake you have hierarchy in the data. So you can see there is a hierarchy. This is the, what do you mean by hierarchy? First of all, ranking that you can see, or levels you can see, right? Hierarchy. There is a hierarchical structure. Rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, classes 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Yeah, so this is here you have the product as a bigger hierarchy. This is the smaller subdivision. Then you have another subdivision like that. So in this snowflake you have hierarchy in the data set. Okay, and why are you doing this snowflake? I mean the normalization process. That also you need to understand it. Okay, why we are doing the normalization process like this when we are dealing with a larger data set? Because it will happen that same kind of information will be, again it will be inserted into your main table. Okay, it will make the table itself the larger, and working on a such larger table. Okay, if you talk about the computational issues will also come, right? Here you can see why. So complexity will always be there, but if you divide your data like this and normalize your data like this, so it will reduce your complexity. Okay, on the data set, so it will be like, because the redundancies means the data is repeating itself. So first of all it will reduce that redundancy which is there present in your table, right? It will increase the complex, I mean it will increase your query complexity. Query operations will be fast. Okay, you will be using joins and all that, I mean the relationship you will be creating, and performance issues you will not get in that case. So why here you can see that is the star schema, and then you have snowflake. So in the snowflake you will have more joins obviously because there are hierarchy in the data, but it's not in star schema you will have fewer joins, only the fact, and then rest are the dimension tables. So here you can see complexity simple, more complex it will be, structure will be more complex over here. Okay, so advantages: data integrity through normalization, reduce redundancy.
Sorry, all these are going to show us in this tree.
Yes, yes, but before that you need to understand it, right?
No, no, I'm just asking now. We are going to do this stuff. We are going to show us the next.
Okay, yeah, I'm showing that to you here in the Power BI, but before, yeah, before that it
Are we going to practice it?
yes, yes, you will be going to practice it as well. Okay, so now coming, yeah, now coming on to the Power BI, this is the data that we have. Okay, and now first of all let's create a fact table out of this. So let me do one thing, let me just create a duplicate of this data, this employee data, and this employee table that is we have. Okay, we'll create one, what we'll create a we'll say, let's create duplicates of it. Okay, I'm creating all the duplicates. So let me make this first one as what, this is the original table that you have, so just make it as fact employee. Okay, so inside the fact employee all this information is there. So say employee id is there, so we can just remove the full name from here, right? We can also remove the department from here if you want. What do you say? Or the designation part as well, as we can remove it. But before removing it, because you need to understand it, we will be creating a different altogether a table for department as well as for the designation. Yes. So here we need some, here we need something where I will be like department, as you can see 4 departments you have. Okay. So if you just take this department from here and you will place it into some different table altogether, then here you need to have at least department id should be here. Okay, so for that we will be adding a department id here. We will create an id and we will add the department id to it. Same way we will be working for the designation too, and same way what we'll do, we'll work for the cities as well, right? Yes, later on what we can do is we can join these. We can just remove all these things from here like city, designation, and department, and we can keep this information separately. Suppose if here if I create the table, the complete a table for the department only, so rest of the things, all the columns that you have, so I can just choose few only, there is one column only, that is department. So I don't have to select all the columns, I can just select the department column, then it will have the department values only. Okay, and I can just remove the duplicates. Now I have only 4 departments here, can you see that, right? This is what I can call it as a department. So we can name it as dimension underscore department. Same thing we can do it for designations. Here we are maintaining designations separately. You can just remove the duplicates. So you have the designations available here. Call it as dim underscore designation, and then we have to put the cities as well. City. We can just remove duplicates. So this is the cities we have it. It as dim city. Clear? Now before removing these cities from here, okay, these cities from here, we need here a column which is called department ID. Yeah, then only we can remove it. Otherwise, we cannot remove it. So here we need a column which is called department column. which will say that HR I'm calling it as 101, or finance as 102, or marketing as 103, and like that IT as something like that. Yeah. So we have this option. You can go to the add columns here. Inside the add columns, right? One second. In the fact table, we have this index column already I have created. So we'll go to the department. Here we can add a custom column. Okay, or we can add a, I mean, index column custom. We can add it. So suppose if you want to, like from 101 you are adding and 1 you are adding. So it's going to add a column for you, which is called, you can see department ID. Yeah, department ID you can call it. Yes. Same way you can do for the designations as well. You can create a custom column here. Okay. And for this is for the designations, and designations. Okay, you can give some codes as well if you wanted to give the conditional thing, like if it is marketing or like data analyst or the accountant QA engineer. Let's make it simple. Let's again make it custom. Uh, okay, starting index we are saying like 1001. Okay, that is what we have designations. So this is the designation ID. Let's go for the city as well. So you can choose for the cities too. And see department, we have less departments. So this is department ID. We can, if we say, we can conditional columns can also be created here, because there we have less in numbers. So we can make it like department 1, D1, D2, D3, D4 as well, like that also we can make it if we want. So like suppose if it is a department, we can say if department is equal to value HR, you can make it as an output. Okay, D1, and then you can say if department is equal to your IT, you can call it as IT, I mean I, you can call it, or D2 you can call it simple. Okay, if your department is suppose marketing, you can call it as D3, or here you have if department is equal to finance, so we can call it as D4. Or yeah, if tomorrow any new department comes, so we will call it as others. Okay, yeah, now we have added these departments here. So then we do not require, we don't need this department ID. We can just remove this department ID from here. Okay, we don't need it. Only this one will make our work easy. Okay, department 1, 2, 3, 4. Then here, because this IDs are, we need to change these IDs. Okay, this, let's make it 101, and then this is your underscore ID. Same way we can go for the city as well. We can create a column, either conditional column you can create or some custom column as well. Let's make it cities. Okay, you can say starting with 10 and incrementing with 1. Let's make it, no, it will not make actually. No, it will not work. So here it is customer ID. Here we have given the city IDs. So now in this table, what we can do is that we can, yeah, we can remove those things. But before removing it, I wanted to keep the employee full names. Okay, this is the fact table that we have. Let's make it fact only. And I wanted to create a new table as well, where I wanted to keep only the customer details, I mean the employee details together. Yeah, this is, we have dimension customer, I mean employee. let's go to the fact table. So what all we can remove? We can remove these things. Yeah, we can also remove this thing, not required. Department, what we can do is we can merge it, right? We have the option here. Yeah, merge queries. We can go to this. So I want to merge this fact table with what? Department table we have, dim department we have. Based on what column do you want to merge it? HR and HR. I'm in this department column. I want to merge it. So let's say okay. So this is the merged here. Okay, what do you want from here? I want only the department ID should come here. That's what I want. Okay. So you will see the department IDs will come here. Can you see that? Okay, we did not change the department ID here. Okay, so here you have, now we can just remove the department from here. Okay, same way we can do for designation also. We can merge the queries, and we have the designation table as well, as we can merge our designations. Okay, and we can just do it. Okay, now we will have what we want, only designations. Yeah, designation ID should come here. Okay, so here we it's getting null records here because there is a reason behind it, and that reason is for this particular one. Let me go to this particular one. Okay, in the merge queries options, it's department ID. Yeah, it's fine now. Okay. uh, See, in between we cannot change any step, that is the problem, so we have to just undo it. So we have department IDs, so same way let's merge the designations faster. Okay, it's done. We want designation ID, then cities, merge it faster, and you will see. Okay, cities are also being merged. Okay, now we can choose our columns. Which columns do we want? So from here we can select, like I want employee ID, salary, date of joining, only these, right? Rest of the things I don't want. Now this is the fact table which is there in front of you. Employee ID, salary, date of joining, or if you wanted to change there and I mean the orders and all, you wanted to change it, so you can change their orders as well. So you have this department ID, you have the designation ID, you have their city ID, and then finally you have the salaries and the date of joinings. And for the date of joining also, what you can do is you can create another table altogether for the date of joinings too, right? So here you can see the date of joinings which are there in front of you, that we can again, we can just create, and we can select I mean we can just choose only date of joinings, only date of joinings. From this date of joinings, I mean you can call it as dim underscore date of DOJ, you can say. Now from this date of joinings, what else you can take out? uh, you can add few columns from here. You can say, suppose year part you want to take out, you can just take out the year part. You wanted to take out the day part or the month part, you can take out the month part. You want to take out your quarter part, you can select the quarter part, and it will contain all the information regarding your date of joining. You want to take out the week part or the day part. This is the day part here we are having. So now we have date regarding information is separate here, employee regarding information is separate here, right? City regarding information is separate, and designation, see, that is the difference here. Now these informations like designation, you have only 10 designations, but here in the main table it was repeated so many times. Same way with the department, same way goes to the employee as well. Now this is the fact table of the employee. Okay, and this is the rest of the are total 1 2 3 4 5 tables are the dimension tables that you are. Now what you can do is just close and apply. That's it. Close and apply. It will take time. Let it get flowed. Yes. Yeah, so it's successfully loaded here. As you can see, total we have, how many tables do we have? All these tables have been imported here successfully, right? Can you see that? Yeah, Adi, you were saying something. So all, yes, no, okay, okay. See, it is because of the internet issue that you have facing. So don't worry. Okay, see, this is today we are doing a very important stuff. What you have to do is go again and you have to go through the video, although I'm doing the recording as well, right? Don't worry about it. So here you will not see the visual. Why you will not see the visual? Because the original column designation is not present, right? It is not present in the, because it was from the fact table we took designation, but it is not present here. That has been moved to the this designation. Yeah, if you go to the table view, you will see that you have all these I mean different tables altogether that you can see here. This is your main table. Okay, then you have a dimension table which looks like this. I mean employee. This is for date of joining. This is for designation. This is for department, and then you have dim city. Now, if you go to the model view, here you will see total how many columns you have. You will see there is a relationship has been built between them. Can you see all of them? Let me get the fact table in the center, and the rest of the tables I will be joining them respectively. First of all, take let me bring the employee details here. Okay, and then you have the department details here. Okay, then details here. Okay, then you have some designation details as well as here. We can keep the designation and the city details here. Okay, then you have the date of joinings. So okay, one second. Date of, no, see, no problem. It is the relationship here. It has automatically been detected by the Power BI. If it is not able to detect, don't worry. We will create the relationship. Okay, so that is, yeah, that should not be the problem. So I'm just first of all placing them properly, so that in the center you have the fact table, then you have the dimension designation, and this is your city table. Okay, so this is your star schema that you can see it here. This is the right. Now date of joinings, I wanted to join with the fact table, right? So here in the model view you have the option of manage the relationship. If you go to this, click on the manage relationship. Okay, if you hover to all these, like these are the relationships that you can see. If you click here, you will see there is a relationship between dimension employee table with the fact table, where relationship is built based on employee ID. If you double click on this, you will find this two tables are there, and they have been joined based on this. Cardinality is one-to-one relationship. I mean one record from the left table and one record from the right table. They have been joined, and both ways you can do the filtration. I mean from the table, this table you can fetch the details of this table, as well as from this table you can fetch the details of this table. So both way you can do it. Okay, so how do you find out both way it is working? With this double arrow you can do it. There you are getting it. Okay, from this double arrow. And if you see the single arrow, these are the single arrows that you can see here. And here again you see the relationships. They are from the department ID to the department ID. Again here it is from the designation ID to the designation ID, and then here city ID to the city ID. So you have I mean again it is one many to one relationship. Okay, because in the fact table you have many city IDs present. Okay, in the dimension table you have only one city ID present, correct? But in the in your main fact table, city ID is repeating itself. So that is why the relationship is what? Many to one. So that is why here it is the star is given here and the one is given here. So okay, the filtration here over here is single way filtration, it is here. Okay, so you can filter your data from here to here. Same way from here to here you can filter, same way from here to here you can filter. Here you can filter both ways. Now if you go to the manage relationships, there you will find total these relationships are active. Okay, 4 relationships are active because you have that is 5 tables you have, but 4 of them have been detected by Power BI. Now you can create your new relationships. You can go to the new, and then from here, what do you want here? Say yeah, date of joining. I mean this table you want, and to which table? Fact table. Based on what? Date of joining. Okay, based on this you want these tables to join. So many to many, again it is showing here. It's showing many to many relationship. uh, in this, I mean you see that here we are having many records inside the date of joinings. So let's do one thing. It's not able to detect it because we did not remove the duplicates inside our dates. So let's go to, we forgot to do that in the dates part, but let's go to the date of joining. So here let's do one thing. Let's go select, we have the option to remove the duplicates. Okay, so total we have around 868 rows now after removing the duplicates. Let me just close and apply this. So it's loading. Okay, and then we'll go to the again. So let's create our relationship. Okay, so here we have the date of joining, and then we have here the fact table. So based on this we will be joining it. One to many it is now. Okay, so let's see it. So now it will create a relationship which you can see it here. Okay, that you could go, you got it. That is how you will be creating a relationship here. Okay, so this is the example that you can see here of the modeling part. How do you model your tables and all together? Okay, it's very important. So now you can think that if you are dealing with the multiple tables, right, how you can create their relationships. Although Power BI is, I mean, it will able to detect it, but somehow if relationship is wrong or something like that, you can manually. So here the modeling part you can perform it from this data model view. So once the modeling is done, now all the information for every respective table is separate. Now we can go here and the visualization that we had built. So here we are considering what designation we are considering. So it was coming from here, this particular table, right? So we have already linked the designation to the fact table because from the fact table salary part is coming. Now what you can do is from here the designation you can just drag this designation to here, and then one second. Okay, one second, it's not working. Let me just close this. From the fact table we are looking for the salaries part. It's not working. We have the designations here, so it's already linked. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's create some another visualization for that purpose. So we have the designation here and the salary part here. So yeah, you are able to see it, correct? So from both the tables we are getting it. Let me see why it is not working for here. Let's fix it. Okay, we are done it. It's working. The relationships are working. Now same way we can create multiple charts here. So this is your one chart. Okay, now let me make a donut chart as well. This is a donut chart that you can see. Okay, but here I don't want to create a donut chart. And here I also added the legends, if you remember. So legend was it coming from department. So I can just drag the department here. Yeah, department I can drag it here. Everyone clear? Or for this thing, suppose if you see this is in the designations, you can see that here these are the names are bigger names. Okay, If you want them to be like shorter names you wanted to give, you can also give the shorter names here too. Like if designation you want M marketing manager as MM, or this as D, or this as accountant. Okay, those things you can also give, so that here they do not occupy the more space. If you see here, they are occupying the more space here, right? Or what else you can do it here in the designation part, you can just remove the designation, you can just put the designation ID. It will give here IDs part. See, IDs that come here. Okay, that also you can, that is for your controlling the space and all, because here you will get readability issues will come otherwise, if in that case. Those things you can control it that way. Or here this chart like this you are showing it, suppose if names are bigger, you don't, because see there is occupying this large space here, and you don't want it to occupy this much of a space. Ultimately the space is very important. So what you can do is, you can also select this particular chart, which is the bar chart. Now these will look something like this. Okay, can you see that, everyone? Now they are not occupying that much space. Yeah, you can keep it at side. Okay, because the names was the problem actually, right? So that things you can control. Okay, now we can do another visualizations as well. As here we can put those visualizations. So although the, you can do some abbreviations you can give to these names, that you can do it. Okay guys, now let's make our pie chart here on the departments. Let's drag the departments here, and department wise how many employees do we have. So this is what for the department it's showing me. So this is one chart that you can see it here. Let me create another chart. Let me create a chart which is regarding date of joinings as well. Like suppose if I want to year on year or month on month year data I wanted to fetch, so I can fetch that data. Okay, month on month or the year on year as well. So suppose it is years I'm dragging here, and it's not some of the years I wanted to calculate. I don't want to summarize it. Some of the year on year, what do we want? Like suppose salaries we are giving, that is what we wanted to see. So here you can see that year on year what is the salaries we are spending. We can create a line chart for it. This will be the line chart. For this you can also create a, I mean the area chart as well. Okay, this area chart you can create, that you can place it here at the top. I mean just this way you can place it. Okay, we are getting this space issue only here. This will be better. This is one chart that you can see. This is the another chart we have. Two charts we have made here. Okay, what else, what kind of else summary we can create on that data set. So department wise we have done what is the total, you can see the percentage of the department that you can see. Designation wise also we have performed. Can we go with the city wise as well? We can go with the city wise. Let's create another chart that is called funnel chart here. Okay, that is we are adding what city we are adding, and then what do you want me to add the values. So let's say employee IDs. So this is going to give a funnel here where you will see uh, okay, but making a funnel here does not make any sense. Okay, because a funnel, you know, funnel is you are making, it's altogether a different role of the funnel, right? So you know that generally when we are working on the sales data, there we make funnels. Then like what is the total number of leads we received, then on those leads like how many like on how many calls were done, that prospecting and all that was done, then finally what was the conversion. So that there you are actually creating the funnel chart. That is a one example. But for the employee ID, suppose here we can create a stacked column chart. Okay, stacked column chart again. We can create just single bar only. That on the x-axis I do not want the cities. I want the cities to be on the legend. Now here it will create uh, this chart for me, that where you can see the count of the cities. Okay, for respective, all the legends are coming here. For that we have to change these legends from here. That formatting part we have to do it, or what you can do it, you can just create a simple table from here. I mean this matrix table, you can create it, this simple table. It will look good here, like you can just place it here because you're having this space available to you. Okay, these charts will be placed here together. So you have city, you have here, I mean this chart available to you here, which is called the area chart. Then you have you city wise comparison also you are doing it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 charts we have created here. Now let's create another fifth chart based on the data set that we have. Let's go to fact table again. So month on month comparison we have done. Let's create a combo chart where we have both the things. I mean we are having the columns as well as we are having a line chart together. Okay, so again let me just create a month on month analysis, and on this data set, okay, we are doing the year analysis here. Okay, designations we are having departments ID. We have already compared these. Okay, let's make one more chart. Like this is on the x-axis we are having the departments, and department wise what is the salaries we are spending. That chart we did not create. And then we have something called as year. Okay, so if you drag your year to this y-axis, and I mean here, one second, let me just make it column legend. So we are having here year on year data we are getting. Years are actually many years we are having. Okay, we can compare the count of employee IDs. Okay, this chart we can compare. Now two things here we are comparing in this chart, like department wise what is the total salaries we are spending, as well as we are seeing the department wise what is the count. Department wise count we are displaying it here actually. Wise salaries we are displaying it here, no problem. Yeah, no problem with that. So you can see we have created how many charts we have created here. 4 charts we have created here. Now we can go with the formatting part of it. Okay, that formatting that you can think of, same things we can apply. Okay, on all the charts, whatever formatting we did here on this one chart, that formatting only I'm applying it everywhere. Okay. See, it's because of your internet issue that you are finding a problem. It's because of, yeah. So for this we have to do the formatting manually. We have to do the formatting part of this for the table part. Title, we don't have to add the title. Okay, it is also padding not required. Column subtotals you are having and row subtotals we are having. That is also not required here. This is required. And total specific column, what is? If you find, see, for every chart, like these options are different actually. Cell elements that you can see, specific columns, what is the total cell values we are having, text color. Okay, yeah, alternate text color we are having this, alternate background color that we are having it. So we can make this as an alternate background color. Okay, and background color we can keep again this thing, the complete background color. Text color is fine, and we can keep this as this one, lighter one. Now you can understand, see, all this takes a lot of time and all. Then we have title, I mean the columns, column headers, they have to be bold. Color is fine, and background color again I want this to be with this color. Okay, no, one second. Okay, this, we have this thing, the column header that we want to give it this color. It will look good now. It will be in the sync, right? Yeah, this, it will be in the sync, correct? Okay, so now it will not look different out. Okay, fine. So now you can see we have these total, how many, 4 charts we have created. I mean 5, 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, 5 charts we have created here. And now best thing here, in all charts you will find that once if you click on any one, like suppose if you click on the department, it will filter out the rest of the data for you. Okay, here it has, if you select the finance, it will finance the, yes, yes. Here it will highlight finance here. Okay, and for you see it is highlighted it, as well as here it is highlighted. There it has given you the finance data. Okay, here it is showing you the complete finance. There also it is showing the complete finance data. Likewise you can see it for others. This is one thing. Or if you want, you can also control these things, like suppose if you're looking for the software engineers, this is again going to give you the data from the software engineers. Okay, but it's going to give you the finance part. Okay, these things we can control. We can also add filters for the designations. Okay, so that designation wise separately we can filter out the data. So we have this beautiful option available here as a filter. This filter option I will explain you tomorrow. Okay, but we can add our manual filters here to filter that data. So we have the option of adding. So if you go to this and if you click on, like suppose designation wise you wanted to filter out your data, you can select that, and now you'll see that you have these slicer options are available to you here. Okay, we have to place it properly, and also we can do the formatting part of the slicing too, right? How it looks and all that we can control. Right now if you click on accounts, now you'll see that it is going to give you the accounts data. If we click on the content strategist, it's going to give the content strategist data. You can see from here, let me just slicer settings, it's a vertical list. We can just put a tile as well. We can select drop down. Drop down is best. Okay, now I can just place the designation slicer here at the top. Yeah, and based on this, if you click on this particular accounts, it's going to give me the accounts data. on the data analyst, it's going to give me the data analyst data, but it is right now working on, right, currently it is working for what? If you want to clear this, it will be cleared. It is working on this chart as well, but if you don't want this to work on this chart, you can control that thing from the connections. You can control that it should filter on your these particular charts, not this particular chart. So you have this option from here. Okay, although we are going to see those things, and in the format also we have the edit connection option. So edit interactions. So right now it is working on all the charts. When you click on the edit interactions, you will see here that two options will come. If you just click again, nothing is there, but if you click there, you will see two options will come on every chart. This is the option one, that is to filter. The second option is to do nothing. Okay, so for this chart we have to select what? We have to select that option only, to do nothing. When you filter respectively for this, it should not work on this one. That is what. Okay, so here when you select this particular one account, it is working on that account as well as. So what you can do is, we can, if you click on this, it should not work on this. That's it. Now we have worked on the connections. That is how we are working connections. Let me just, now if you again work on it, it is not going to work on this chart for you. That is how we are adding filters here. So this is using the slicer, we are adding filters. Okay, so one thing is missing here, that is to add data cards here. So we can add data cards as well. Like suppose here, if I want to display the total sum of the sales, or the total sum of the salaries, or total employees. Okay, now here comes the importance of DAX. So we can go to the table view, and then here in this particular thing we can create our DAX. Few measures we can create. So we can go and create our new measure. Okay, so I'll be writing new measure. Now I want to calculate something. Suppose here I want to create a measure for total salaries. Okay, and then formulas are like sum of the total salaries. Inside the fact table, this is what salaries I'm taking considering. Just press enter. So this new measure, I mean the new calculation, has been created here. Okay, it will not come here in the data set, but when you drag it to here, it will come. So for that, what you will drag, so you have the option here that you can see the card options, like this is the card option. Okay, that you can place it here, or there is one more option, that is multi cards also you can place. Okay, one second. Yeah, one second, let me just add the card option. So this is the card we have placed, and in this card what we can do is we can drag our total salaries measure. So now here you will see total 60 million total salaries what we are spending. Okay, so this is one summary you have created here. Okay, if you drag the employee IDs, some of the employee IDs, so here it's going to give you what? Total 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 1,000 employees you have. How many department you have, I mean designations, count of department, count of designations, count of cities. Okay, all these things you can place it here, and then you will see that here are some data cards. Okay, for here it is not working for the count of the departments. So for that, let's say count distinct. That's it. Now it is going to work. Same way for the cities also, count distinct. Okay, and same way for this also, count distinct. Now you can see how many, I mean you can just see how many, I mean cities you have. 10 you have. And how, for that, what we have to do is, like, we have to do the corrections with names and all. Yeah, yeah, these parts we have to work on. Okay, that we can control it, right, from here, from the formatting part as well, right. This is one way of adding your data cards. Okay, and another way of adding your data cards, just like I have explained it to you. Okay, by writing the formula, I mean using the DAX queries. So this is one summary. Now we can create another summary. Suppose I new measure I wanted to create, total employees, or total, yeah, employees. Okay, so because we want to count. Okay, so here you have the option like count A, everything we wanted to count, or distinct count we wanted to do. What do we want to do? Suppose distinct count, and from, yeah, from which employees table I wanted to count the distinct employee ID. That's it. Okay, only the distinct employee IDs I'm looking for, not all. Okay, so now here we have another summary output as a total employee. Then we can again create a new card. Okay, this new card we can create, and this new card we can place our total employees, or the current one also that we have. In this one also we can create, we can just write total employees here. Now you'll see total 1000 employees you have. Okay, it is coming 1K. Okay, but I want rename for this visual is, one second, total employees it is coming. Okay, but 1 second, I just want to do one thing here. Let me just add new card to you, total employee, and this total employee, let me just go to the format. Here we have option. This is the formatting options that we have. No, I'm not creating summary. Okay, the formatting part we need to see it. No problem. So manually we have to work on the formatting part as well, right? Although the card formattings are again here, we can explore those things. And then at the end what we can do is we can add a text box. Okay, inside the text box we can place it, and then here inside this what we can say, it's a employee. Okay, we can make it employee dash employee dashboard. We can make it, we can also increase the size. Okay, so we can alignment, all these things we can work on here. And in this effects background, okay, employee dashboard, and canvas background. 1 second. We can just change this color. Okay, so here we have to do some, because we can say this is the employee dashboard that you can see it here. I want you to add a color onto backside. Yeah, that color should match. Okay, and all of these things you can control it here. So that is this. Here I'm giving 1 second. I can just make this like this as well as. So you have the employee dashboard, and then after the employee dashboard, here we'll be adding some data cards. I mean the summary reports, and then finally we'll be adding some filters as well as here. This filter formatting I have to do, I have to make it to this color only. Color combinations have to be that same only. Then here in between I can add this color. Okay, I mean this color, which is this particular one. Okay, yeah, and yes, here we need to work on that. Here we can add some filters also. So now this is your complete report. I mean the complete dashboard that you have here. So we have explored, I mean most of the things we have covered here too. Two things is still remaining, that is the DAX functions. So we will cover the DAX functions in the tomorrow session. And yeah, although the formatting parts and designing part, filter also, the interaction of the filter, these parts we have, as well as the slicing part we have covered here in this tutorial.